Hi, welcome to America 2.0. Don't worry about the darkness in my camera. Something's weird with it. I don't understand what. But this story that I'm going to bring you came from DCClothesline.com, February 1, 2015, by Theodore Schubat. You guys might want to sit down for this one. This is a biblical story that just recently happened. Go ahead, sit down. I'll wait. Alright, now that you're sitting down, or hopefully sitting down, obviously you can read the title, but I'll explain the details unless you've already seen this, but chances are you probably haven't. This came from, like I said, DCClothesline.com. Christians heroically have killed 65 jihadists and destroyed their mosque in a town called Saidnaya, Syria. I'll just read you what I took. I actually wrote the story out as much as the main details as I could find. So let me just go ahead and read this to you. Make sure my sound is all the way up so that you can hear me all right. All right. So they didn't come out and say this was Al Qaeda, this was ISIS. They just labeled them as jihadists. A small band of Christians have formed an army to fight and kill jihadists in Syria. Originally, they had banded together to protect the holy sites in Syria, which the local jihadists had defiled and defaced. But it went further, and they had to, unfortunately, take things into their own hands a little bit more. Jihadists attacked and invaded Saidnaya in Syria, a city predominantly majority Christian in Syria. As the terrorists had defiled and defaced churches, holy sites, and historical sites, these people sat and waited. They figured it was none of their problem, the government would handle it, all things would come, and all things would be good. It was only upon the time when the terrorists had started invading that city that they began to notice nobody was coming to their aid, and nobody was coming to stop this. As they stood and watched as their government did nothing, they could see the sun rising over a hilltop of the statue of Christ as it was being illuminated by God Himself. By a church called Deir Cherubim, originally supported by Russian Orthodox. And as they were watching these guys come into their city and invade, there was this giant statue up on a hill, basically like that with Christ in the middle, like right there, and it was illuminating. Nobody was coming to their aid. How could this happen? These guys had sacked cities, they had sacked holy temples. God did not strike them down. Why? As they looked upon this statue of Christ, they noticed it was illuminated brighter than it, and they had remembered it, seeing it like this. So, basically, the official name of the group was Defenders of the Church, the Lions of Cherubim, and they're calling themselves a New Order of Crusaders. The Syrian army placed a tank to protect another church. The terrorists blew up the tank. After watching this, and God did not smite them down, the statue still illuminated by God's own call, somehow or another, and it wasn't listed the exact reference, but there was a 7-hour gun battle that erupted to retake the city. After 65 terrorists were dead, the Lions of Cherubim destroyed one of the mosques the terrorists were using. And understand, after and only after this 7-hour fight. Okay, and no, I didn't rig this just for the light, although it's pretty decent reference at this point. But after and only after this 7-hour fight did the statue of Jesus stop illuminating, and the sun move from its position. Christ's army took the ground. I read other reports and different things online about this in the last couple of days. Them attacking the, I think there was some holy site, some big shrine type thing. And the Muslims had teenagers, kids with them with guns, etc. And one of the Christians had said, you know, when they were fighting, if they had a gun, they were struck down. There was no difference. It was an unfortunate situation if there were minors or kids among them, but the message was clear, and it got handled. Now, I don't know the inner details of this. I don't know enough to know how close these terrorists or these Muslim groups are to the city, what their ties are to the city, what any reprisatory actions might be taken. But 65 jihadis are dead from a small band of Christians that took upon himself a holy task of Christ. And this happened in Saidnaya, Syria. I know I'm probably botching that name, but so I found it kind of funny that originally this area was Russian Orthodox. Dun, 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 dun. I won't go into that, I'll let you ponder that. America 2.0 out.